Yo, so what's going on, guys? Today's one is going to be a bit of a different style tone of video. This video is actually covering something that's really scary that's currently going on. It's currently an active situation that's been going on for the last couple days and actually weeks, to be honest. So let's just get right into it. So essentially in Canada, the Liberal government started to form negotiations with China and have started to deal with the Chinese Communist Party and all this sort of stuff, right? And obviously we know is that China is a communist dictatorship, right? Or it is a dictatorship at least, right? And that is obviously a big issue because in Canada, we're a free country, we're a free nation, and we believe in freedom. That's what we fought for the last 150 years against Hitler, against all this stuff, right? So to see things going on right now that directly contradict that is very scary. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So essentially, there's this guy. His name is Nicholas, right? And he's been posting on Instagram, basically covering some of the bills that they're trying to pass in Canada regarding some legislation that is very fishy and deals with the Chinese Communist Party. So essentially, Mark Carney and the Liberals have been working with the Chinese Communist Party with a bunch of different stuff, right? But they started to take some inspiration from the stuff that they're doing in China, such as like monitoring people and trying to basically lock everything down and make it sort of like a 1984 type scenario, right? Now, I'm not saying that Canada is doing that directly, but they're actively passing laws that are contributing to this sort of breakdown, right? So I'll go ahead and list some laws here. So right now, they're also trying to take guns away from Canadians, which, like I said, we're not supposed to have guns in Canada in terms of like firing, like handguns and stuff like that, but we have hunting rifles and stuff. So the laws that they're passing are actively getting rid of law-abiding citizens' hunting rifles that they're using. And it doesn't do anything for people that have handguns in their house that are just sitting there and not willing to give them over because obviously they're illegal. They're not going to hand over the guns, right? They're impeding on freedom of speech with Bill C9, which basically says that anything you say can be criminalized against you. And then also Bill C15, which just passed as well, which is basically they can under any situation, they can undermine the current law and they can arrest someone for any given reason. It is literally undermining any condition for arrest, right? And this is very, very scary. Like, this is something that should not be happening. It is absolutely crazy that I'm even talking about this right now, right? And so what happened was there's this guy who lives, I think, in Victoria, British Columbia, or wherever. I forget exactly where he lives. Somewhere around there. And basically, he went around to these different politicians and was handing out just printouts of the actual bills and saying, please read these, try to pass these to legislation, right? Like, just doing his duty as a citizen, right? And albeit in the videos, he's a little bit harsh towards some of them, right? Like, he's very, very much like blunt, like, you need to do your job and do this, right? Which is kind of mean. But in the end, he is right for what he's doing. He's trying to stand up for like what the people want and not to have a fucking dictatorship, right? And what ended up happening was he ended up being arrested, or they tried to arrest him for someone called the police on him. And then after that, he essentially was trying to talk to all the other people. And then they had a psychiatrist come and sit down and try to basically get a false conviction for him to be sent to a psych ward, right? And then it happened again later on, and he was actually sent to the psych ward, which I'll show you all the clips now. First, I'm going to go ahead and show you just the type of stuff he was doing to the different politicians.
Have been delivered. Yes. Corey? Ryan. Sorry, Ryan. Nice to meet you, Ryan.
Nice to meet you.
Again, please consider very carefully these documents. Please consider the fact that people's lives are going to get ruined. Please consider the fact that people's businesses are going to get shut down and people could catch criminal charges for these things.
No,
all right?
Very much appreciated.
Really important stuff. You guys literally have the hands of every person and family in this riding in your hands right there. Okay? Please think about it.
Thank you very much.
But just for your information as well, this entire visit and the fact that I dropped these documents has been digitally recorded.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm dropping off these documents to this office to leave. Thanks, man.
So as you can see, he's just dropping off the documents, or like he's going and talking to people about them. And there's nothing really fishy with what he's doing, right? So, and I guess what happened next was that someone called a bomb threat on him. I think maybe like some politician or someone called something on him that he had a bomb. And again, the way that he's handling this is not the best. He's very non-compliant with the officer despite what he says. He's very hesitant, which obviously he should be because he's being detained for no reason, as you'll see. But he definitely is very like sporadic, which he should have just complied with the officer. I think it would have been much better. But yeah, here, take a look.
You're walking into places and handing out flyers about this and that. They asked you not to go up and you went up.
I didn't ask you not to go up. The Irish Consulate General was happy
Still check what's in your backpack.
Hey man, you can't do that. That's against my rights.
Don't walk away.
Hey, whoa. Dude, you can't do that. I haven't done anything wrong. What have I done wrong? Dude, I haven't done anything. You can't search me. That's my right. That's my right as a
Chill out. Listen, chill out.
Well then why
Grab a cat. Grab a cat. Relax.
Okay. Am I under arrest?
Yes, you are. You're being detained.
I'm being
Yes.
I am?
Yes.
For what?
You are. I'll explain everything.
No,
Stop
just
up.
please tell me what I'm being detained or arrested for.
Okay. They said that you might have a bomb with you. Okay.
I don't have a bomb with me.
Well, that's what we're checking right now. Okay.
You're not allowed to. Whoa.
So then eventually what follows up next is that obviously he's a little bit hurt from the officer and stuff, but he continues doing what he's doing, right? He's talking to people and he's basically trying to bring down these actions from the Canadian government, right? Trying to make sure that it does not turn into a sort of dictatorship state where they're, you know, taking away our free speech, taking away like, or giving themselves basically infinite power and stuff like that, right? What happens next, he ends up sitting down, trying to sit down with someone, right, at a coffee shop, but he ends up getting approached by what you'll see is a psychiatrist and then I guess a police guy or something like that. I forget exactly what it is. But he ends up getting approached by some people who were basically means that his communications were compromised. So these people showed up instead of what his friend or whatever is going to show up, and they try to sit down with him, and you'll see what happens next.
I heard you having like a meet and greet here today. Yeah, where'd you get a flyer? Abbotsford, as far as told about. You were there a couple days ago, I think. Yeah. You know, is that okay to say? Sure. So I'm actually a nurse working nearby at the hospital, but I figured I'd just come over because I'd seen the pamphlets, and I don't think I'm smart enough to understand them.
Right, you guys can take this and get the fuck away from me.
It's kind of worrisome.
No, I already know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You guys can take whatever you're doing, your little act, and you guys can please leave. I'm asking you politely.
I'm a physician.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave.
One of the things
Because what I'm going to tell you is that what you're doing right now is illegal.
How is it illegal?
What is it? It's an ambush is what you're doing.
It's a mental health assessment, and we need to know what's going on with you.
Yeah. Socials, but I'd actually read the pamphlets. I heard you having like a meet and greet here today. That's why.
Yeah, where'd you get a flyer?
Abbotsford, as far as.
What we got going on here? Huh? You guys all doing something? Interesting. Meet and greet here?
This is absolutely deplorable, okay? So this guy sits down, like I said, people come by, and he ends up getting ambushed, right? And then when he leaves, he looks at the staff, and it looks like they have, like, they're undercover cops or something. They're undercover something to make sure that this all went well, because I guess they were assuming he was going to lash out. But no, he gets up and he walks out like a regular person, right? He just says, like, get the fuck away from me, right? And they don't want to leave him alone, which is wild. That is absolutely nuts that this is happening in a supposedly free country. Like, what the fuck? Like, genuinely, like, what the fuck? I don't even know what to say, man. This is really, really scary, because think about it. Like, I see this shit and type of shit in, like, Star Wars and shit like that. When, I don't know if you guys know this reference, but Fives ends up discovering the clone troopers, like, inhibitor chips, and, like, no one believes him. I feel like that's what this guy is, like, going through right now. Like, no one believes him. There's always people in power, the police, whatever, the politicians. They all are supposed to be, like, his friend, right, on his side, but they're all trying to silence him. And it doesn't make any sense. It's so scary to be in this scenario. I couldn't imagine being in this guy's scenario. And by the way, this guy is not some idiot, right? Some random crackhead. This guy has a PhD in, or a degree in biophysics or something like that. So this guy clearly knows what he's talking about. He has papers published about, like, nuclear gravity or something like that. Like, this guy is not some unaccomplished bum, okay? He's done something with his life, and he's trying to report on something, which you're allowed to do, but guess what? He's getting absolutely harassed. Good thing he had cameras, because if he didn't have cameras, I feel like this would have went way differently. Yeah, man, this is absolutely wild that this is the place that we're looking at. But basically, after this, what ends up happening is a couple days later, he ends up getting stopped by the police, right? Now, this is where this is why I wanted to cover it, because it's absolutely crazy from here on out. So they ended up stopping him, and they have a psychiatrist, and they basically, the police tell him, you know, it doesn't matter that you want to leave, but you're gonna have to come with us and go down to the psych ward. So here, take a look.
Okay.
And this is Dr. Emery. He's a resident psychiatrist,
Yeah.
senior resident. He's on a rotation with the CAR 87. We're part of a program that includes Vancouver Coastal Health and the Vancouver Police. And what we do is we go to people when there's different reasons that come up. Every case is a little different, and we go to people to see them where they are, especially if there's been issues with trying to find them and talk to them. So in your case, I think you were certified under the Mental Health Act just, I don't know how long ago, but like maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. Were you aware of that? Dr. Taylor saw you in a cafe. She didn't certify you. I think you filmed part of it. And then she spoke with your family, got some more information, and you know, you're gonna have to turn that
So
off.
just one sec. What the officer just told me is that you know, you and I can set up a meeting and we can chat then. So why don't we do that? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not turning the camera off. I have a legal right to keep the camera on. If you don't want to make the appointment now, we can do it at another time. But you know, that's what the officer just asked that we do. So why don't we do that?
so I'm gonna certify you under the Mental Health Act. We're gonna bring you to hospital, do testing on you, and you're going to talk to a psychiatrist in a controlled environment, because we don't believe that you're going to attend an appointment. You've been...
I won't attend. I've never been given a chance to attend an appointment.
So he's certified. He's certified?
I've never been given a chance to attend an appointment. What is going on? I was never given a psych eval or nothing. He just looked at me and said, "You're certified."
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know why, but it's up to the doctor. So if you...
But no, he didn't even give me an eval. He just looked at me and said, "I'm certified."
I get that.
You know, please consider what you're doing, and please think about the fact that I'm more than happy to come in for an appointment. I'm happy to go through and do everything properly. Okay, I've been completely compliant with everything.
Yes, you've been really good with me, Nicholas. But listen, that's his call, and unfortunately, we can't
But
go back on that.
he hasn't
You have
talked
to
to me.
get checked out by a doctor.
You're interacting with me at a very regular. Okay.
And this is Dr. Emery. He's a resident.
So I had some eggs and stuff for breakfast this morning. Yeah, I didn't put drapes, so I had to tape this up because my window didn't have drapes. And so all night there's just light beaming into my room. So I couldn't sleep last night, so I demanded that they give me tape and stuff to put on my windows so that I could sleep tonight. I'm like one of the only rooms that has no drapes.
Again, this is absolutely fucking crazy that a psychiatrist can just admit you to a ward without anything, without any like actual probable cause other than them just politically disagreeing with you. Like, what the fuck type of world are we living in here? This guy, as you can see, so basically the police are telling him like, yeah, like you have to come with us because this doctor cleared you. Even though this doctor sat down with him for 2 seconds at the freaking coffee chat thing, but yet, yeah, that's enough to deter someone and put them in a mental institution where they can't even prove themselves. Now, yes, I will say that Nicholas is a bit sporadic. You can tell he's a bit sporadic, right? But that doesn't mean anything about how that could just be who he is as a person, right? It doesn't mean anything about that he's mentally unstable to be in society. And the fact that the police can just apprehend you, and you know the police officer doesn't even want to do this, but he tells him he has to do it. This random doctor can just tell you have to go to a psych ward is absolutely fucking appalling. And to this day, I'm pretty sure he's still in there. That video was posted a couple days ago of him inside of it with no drapes, which is just sad. It makes you probably think he's gonna go even more insane. But like, this cannot be happening. Okay, this should not be happening, and this is absolutely crazy. I hope that this becomes mainstream. That's why I'm trying to cover it, because this is insane, and this is an ongoing story that I will keep covering. But man, it goes to show that we really are living in a time where like the government can just do whatever they want. And I want you guys to go ahead and like this video and share it. I don't normally say that, but try to do that just so we can get the word out there and trying to get more people to have eyes on this, so that justice can be brought to these sort of things that the government is already trying to do. They're trying to hide it by doing what the laws allow them to do. Like, the laws that they're trying to promote are literally the type of shit that they're doing right now in order to get the laws promoted, if you know what I mean, right? Like, they're basically already overruling the rules to try and make these laws pass. But there's no point in even trying to get these laws to pass because they're already doing it anyway, and no one's even going to say anything. This isn't even a political video. This is just common sense, right? But yeah, that's about it, guys. I'll go ahead and catch you in the next one. Peace.